What's up, everybody? The Taxman is back with another best ball draft on Underdog. This is a big dog tournament. $500 to enter, $200,000 to first place. I have the seventh pick, high stakes draft here. I recognize one of these guys, Renegades, who I know likes to take two elite wide receivers and then a bunch of running backs. Something I'll keep in mind. I don't really recognize anyone else. I think this is my fourth big dog. I'm going to try to get to 10 to 15 just so I have a legit shot of winning. Definitely going to take one of the guys that I really like here and not just go off of ADP since this is a big dog. Like, I'm not going to be taking Christian McCaffrey, I'll tell you that. Looks like this guy auto drafted to Christian McCaffrey. So yeah, I'm not going to really overthink this. And I'm going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's on a great offense. He's been one of the most consistent, knock on wood, consistent fantasy football players the past 3 years. Detroit has an easy schedule this year as well, playing in mostly domes. So happy to get him on one of my big dog teams. Wearing my Joe Burrow jersey, so maybe I will be inclined to take him at some point in this draft. Merlonio on the clock. I could take Brock Bowers here. I don't think I have a big dog team with Brock Bowers yet. And it's definitely something like I would definitely like to have at least one team with Brock Bowers. He could just be the guy you need this year. After this big dog tournament, though, I'm gonna probably take a break. I've done like 4 now the past 4 days, so I did one a few days ago and I accidentally auto draft my fourth quarterback on the team, which was frustrating. But honestly, my team still ended up really good, in my opinion. So I don't have much of Amari in Hampton. So I might take him just to like up my exposure. It's between Amari and Hampton and Brock Bowers. I'm gonna go ahead and take him. Again, I'm investing in good offenses here. And like I said, I don't have too much of Amari and Hampton in the other tournaments that I've been doing, so it's nice to get one share of him in a big dog to kind of balance that out. I mean, he's a young running back in what should be a very good offense. Should have some spike weeks regardless, even if he, loses some work to the other running backs in the room like Vidal or what's the other guy's name? I'm blanking. Keaton Mitchell, which Keaton Mitchell is a smaller back. They're not going to be giving him like too crazy of a workload. He might catch some passes out of the backfield, but I'm expecting Amari and Hampton to have all of the goal line work. And he's an explosive back. Young, second year in the league. He was showing it before he got injured last year that he was a good fantasy player. Kyren Williams goes to the Renegade drafter, which is interesting. He goes before Jeremiah Love and Breece Hall. I'm going to go Zay Flowers here. Zay Flowers had a good year last year, even though Lamar Jackson didn't have a good year. And then I keep hearing signs of like the coaches saying Zay Flowers, basically the offense is going to run through him. And they added pieces in there where defenses can't really, like they added 2 big body wide receivers. So defenses can't really only focus on him because they got to worry about the big body wide receivers as well. So I feel like Zay Flowers could have a monster season. I also like his Week 17 matchup with the Cincinnati Bengals. We don't have a great defense here. And there's another guy, like he's proven that he can stay healthy, knock on wood. And in the first few rounds, you just don't want to lose your draft. And I feel like Zay Flowers is a relatively safe pick, especially in a best ball format where he should have spike weeks regardless. So most likely I'll just keep stacking my wide receivers here because I like the guys that go in this range. I could get someone like Terry McLaurin. I could get someone like Luther Burden, Jalen Waddle maybe. Lad McConkey goes. That's another guy I could have gotten in paired him with Hampton. Tootin. Early Tootin pick in the big dog tournament. Do not like that pick personally. We got a guy going 4 running backs. Something to note because Renegade is also a very hungry running back guy. Josh Allen is here. Jalen Waddle is here. I'm going to go ahead and take Josh Allen falling below ADP. I don't think I have a Lamar Jackson team, but I don't have a Josh Allen team. I like his Week 17 matchup as well. And obviously, he's just like someone that can help you advance because he's QB1 most years. Could look to even pair him up with Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers and just stop at 2 QBs. And the only reason I would do that is because I'm one, it's a stack, and 2, it could help me advance, and 3, I'm very confident in my ability to find guys later on in the draft, especially when I see, like, I know these guys are running back hungry. We'll see if he makes it back and what other running backs make it back, because I could also stack DJ Moore with Josh Allen. So I should have options. Joe Burrow goes early to the Jamar Chase drafter, which is the Renegades guy. He likes to go QB early as well, two early QBs. And that's the thing is like if I see him do this, and I'm sure he's thinking like he's confident in his ability to find later guys. Lamar Jackson is here for me. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and do it because I have Zay Flowers. I don't need a stack with Josh Allen because 1, this is the big dog, so the final isn't as big. And 2, he does rushing touchdowns. So yeah, my quarterback room is dominant. So I know I'm going to have an advantage over this room with that. If Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are the number 1 and number 2 quarterbacks, which is what we're projecting, I should be advancing. Chris goes his 5th running back and Bucky Irving. Very interesting here. Running backs are flying off the board. This guy also 3 running backs. And I know Renegades is most likely either going to be taking a quarterback running back or running back running back. Even though typically I see him take when Drake London's here, he almost always takes Drake London. So usually he goes like 2 elite wide receivers, running backs, elite quarterbacks, and then just hammers wide receiver at the end of the draft. If DJ Moore makes it back to me, I would take him for the stack as well. And then I would have the projected 2 top quarterbacks and their stacks all on the same team, which would be unique and pretty awesome. And like my only other option is to like reach for a running back, which honestly I don't really want to be doing when okay, DJ Moore goes, but when I got like BTJ here and Parker Washington, I could take Jalen Warren, but I do also like Brian Thomas Jr. here. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take BTJ. I'm confident in his ability, if he's healthy, to have spike weeks for me. And like I said, I don't really want to like bow down to the room and just reach on a running back because people are taking a bunch of running backs. I will be taking a running back on the next go around for sure. And that's the thing is I like all of these guys just as much as Jalen Warren. Like Rico Dowdle, RJ Harvey goes, he loves RJ Harvey as well, this guy. Quarterbacks have been going, I would say, a little bit earlier. Like usually Joe Burrow sometimes makes it even to this round. Same with like Drake May. Will make it to the end of the 6th a lot of times. Dak Prescott goes. So it's good for me that quarterbacks are going off the board right now. So yeah, this is where I will take a running back. Tony Pollard's here. Rico Dowdle. I think I lean Rico here. He's a guy who's proven it the past 2 years on 2 different teams. There's been rumors that he's the running back 1 over Jalen Warren, which honestly they should both get a lot of work. So yeah, I'm going to take Rico Dowdle here. I have him on quite a few of my big dog teams. I think that's the 3rd time I've taken him out of 5 big dog teams. Or the 3rd time out of 4. Yeah, this is my 4th. Which I don't mind because I have more Jalen Warren in all the other tournaments. So I'm just leveling out my exposure between the 2, which is what I think you should do, honestly. Like, unless you have a crystal ball, who knows who's going to have a better year and when they're going to do it this year between Rico Dowdle and Jalen Warren. So I most likely will be looking to take another running back here, or I could take Sam Laporta and pair him up with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jaden Reed goes off the board. I like him this year. This guy's investing in some Green Bay Packers. Patrick Mahomes off the board. So yeah, quarterbacks are kind of flying off the board. So I'm happy that I got my 2. Chris is a very strong running back room here. See if he takes a quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is still here for someone to take. Sam Laporta goes. Honestly, this guy should take Trevor Lawrence because he's got Parker Washington. He does, which leaves me who I wanted in Blake Corum. He should get more opportunity this year in an LA Rams offense that may want to run the ball more because their defense is better. Love the Blake Corum pick when I need running backs. I believe in his talent, and it always feels good making a talent bet. especially when it's a talent bet on a good team. Like basically that's what my entire team is. Omarion Hampton, talent bet on a good team. Blake Corum, talent bet on a good team. Brian Thomas, talent bet on a good team. We already know Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Zay Flowers, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, all on good offenses. I think J.K. Dobbins is a sneaky pick this year. Like, he's going 2 rounds after R.J. Harvey, and if he stays healthy this year, he's going to be getting more looks than R.J. Harvey. It's a big if, but, I mean, you're getting it in the price. Quarterbacks continue to fly off the board. So I'm very happy in my strategy, and I don't feel weak at the other positions either. Obviously, tight end, I haven't taken a tight end yet, but that doesn't really worry me. Could go Michael Pittman. I'm going to go Rachaad White, though. This running back room, like a lot of guys have a lot of running backs. Some guys still, like this guy still only has 2. This guy only has 2. This guy only has 2. So it could force them to take more running backs. And I like Rachaad White this year. He catches passes. Again, he's in a good offense with a young quarterback who's looking to have a bounce back year. And Jaden Daniels, most likely they're going to try to be getting the ball out of his hands quickly this year because of his injury problems from last year. So Rachaad White fits that build. And there's still wide receivers here that I like. So yeah, a lot of wide receivers still to pick from. Michael Pittman is getting a nice fall here because people are just, there he goes. People are just taking quarterbacks. Quarterbacks have been moved up the board. JCM goes. Would have been nice to lock up that backfield, but I could still lock it up with Katron Allen. And then basically I'm betting that JCM is the odd man out there. But I think Rachaad White has a unique pass catching ability that they're going to be using him for that. And if you think about the wide receivers in Washington, like their wide receiver room is kind of weak. Terry McLaurin isn't even a true alpha wide receiver. So I could get a fall on Kyle Pitts here. Yeah, again, I don't have a lot of Kyle Pitts, and he showed last year that he advanced a lot of people in week 15 because he had a 3-touchdown game. And I'm getting him 10 picks past ADP, needing a tight end. There were a lot of wide receivers that I liked there, like Wandell, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Higgins. But like I said, I'm confident in my ability to find values later on in the draft. He's another guy too. Like this is smoothing out my exposure to him because I don't have a lot of exposure to Kyle Pitts. So I'm happy to get it in a big dog, 10 picks past ADP. Could say it is perfect. He's a guy too that like I'm not like a huge fan of him, but I feel like he's not really been injured that much, which is good. Jaden Higgins might fall back to me here. If he doesn't, I might take Travis Kelce. Or I could take Dalton Kincaid and pair him up with Josh Allen. Yep. So it kind of works out perfect. Could stop at 2 tight ends now if I wanted to. And 2 quarterbacks. And just load up on wide receivers, which is most likely what I'm going to do. In these type of tournaments, you want to be betting basically that you're right. So unless I get a fall at tight end on someone that I like, I probably will be stopping at 2 tight ends. Although I might go 3 tight ends because I don't love stopping at 2 tight ends with Kyle Pitts, considering what kind of year Brock Bowers could have. Like, you may just need, if you don't take Brock Bowers or one of the elite guys, you may just need 3 tight ends to keep up. Deebo Samuel goes off the board before Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, I feel like no one's talking about this lawsuit that he's going through right now, which kind of scares me a little bit because he could just get blackballed. Stephon Diggs goes off the board. I mean, a lot of times in the NFL, when stuff comes out like that, teams just don't want to really deal with you because you bring drama to the locker room. It sounds like the guy has a lot of evidence against him. I don't really like Mark Andrews here, but he is falling to a point where it's hard to ignore when I have Lamar Jackson. But then again, I could take Travis Hunter and have like a Jacksonville duo here, which I kind of like the idea of. Mark Andrews goes off the board regardless. Makes my decision a little bit easier. Yeah, I'm taking Travis Hunter here, pairing him up with Brian Thomas, which I like because these guys could take turns on who goes off each week, and then I'm capitalizing every single time one of them goes off. Or if BTJ happens to get injured, and then Travis Hunter maybe switches to permanently on offense. So it's a little bit of a safety net for that BTJ pick, but it's also just they could boom on different weeks. It's kind of like when you take, like I was saying before, if JCM fell here, I would have taken him to kind of lock in that backfield. I'm locking in a wide receiver room that I like because I like the Jacksonville offense. He did it as well with San Francisco here, taking Deebo and Stribling unstacked. It's kind of, well, he has Parker Washington there. Like, if I was him, I probably would have leaned Travis Hunter just because I have the Trevor Lawrence piece. But this is the big dog. It's only a 10-person final, like I said. Woody Marks goes off the board. Renegades building his typical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs. Definitely don't want Daniel Jones. I feel like my running back room is like pretty solid here. Yeah, I'm going to go Denzel Boston. I like the talent. He could emerge as the top dog in Cleveland along with Harold Fannin. They should be losing a lot of games and be forced to throw. Could get some garbage time points. Denzel Boston and Stribling, I was consistently taking like probably I was getting Stribling like in the 16th round consistently. So he's climbed like 3 rounds with all the hype and the injuries in San Francisco, which this is right around where I think he should be going with Travis Hunter, Omar Cooper. One guy that I just don't understand why he goes so high is KC Concepcion. Like, I could get the number 1 wide receiver there 4 rounds later. He has higher touchdown upside. And honestly, he's been getting more buzz than KC Concepcion. I think sometimes people fall into the idea of like, just because a guy got drafted higher doesn't mean he's going to outperform another guy. Like, a lot of times, teams draft guys based on not immediate production, but long term output. if that makes sense. I was going to take Tank Bigsby there. So it's kind of annoying he gets sniped for me. But I'll go Alvin Kamara. Like this offense. People are counting him out just because Travis Etienne gets signed there. But all signs on social media with early training camp is that they're splitting the workload. And honestly, it's not surprising to me. Like they could just turn Kamara into a wide receiver, like a slot guy. I think he's that talented. They can play them both at the same time. He's just a guy where I feel like he's definitely not going to be a zero. Where like Dylan Sampson, in my opinion, easily could be a zero if they just lean in on Quinshon Judkins, because Quinshon Judkins is just too good to take off the field. And I could stop at running back at this point. Could look to take a third tight end. A lot of guys here that I like. And then when we get to this point as well, it's like a lot of these wide receivers are kind of the same to me. So I kind of don't mind the idea of just getting another tight end. Especially this guy has 0 tight ends. This guy has 1 tight end. This guy has 1 tight end. Now this guy has taken 4. This guy didn't take a tight end. So yeah, I most likely am going to be taking a tight end here. Because like I said, I do not trust just these 2 guys when you got guys like Brock Bowers out there and Trey McBride. And I'm like punishing the room for not taking their tight ends here. I have a lot of Terrence Ferguson. He's the other guy that I would have taken there. I like AJ Barner as well. And then the rest of my picks are just going to be wide receivers. Unless I want to lock in that Washington backfield, like I said. There are some running backs here that I like still. And I'm pretty comfortable with these 5 wide receivers, honestly. Like, obviously, I'm going to add more, but like, see the guys rushing to get their tight ends right after I got mine. And now we got this guy. His only tight end is TJ Hawkinson. Very scary. If I was him, I would not like that. If anything happens to Trey McBride, this guy's team is basically drawing dead. Unless he finds a really good tight end. 2, I don't see Trey McBride doing what he did last year with the addition of Jeremiah Love. Marvin Harrison Jr. is coming back healthy. They add Algier as well. So I just think the volume is going to be lower than it was last year. Terrence Ferguson goes off the board. So yeah, tight ends and quarterbacks got pushed up this draft. I'm going to get another rookie that I just believe in his talent. I also believe in that offense. He can emerge later on in the year, and if there's any injuries with Chris Godwin or Mika Ibuka, he could be a league winner. He's also a guy that can, even if there is no injuries, he can just get me a few spike weeks because he catches long touchdown passes, and he's a big body. So he has touchdown upside. I could look to lean into this Baltimore receiving room as well. It's another guy that has touchdown upside. Elijah Surratt is the other guy. I mean, Rashad Bateman 2 years ago scored 9 touchdowns. But with taking basically 4 wide receivers on 2 teams between Zay Flowers, Jakobi Lane, Travis Hunter, and Denzel Boston, it kind of makes me want to go 8 wide receivers instead of a 2-5-7-3, go a 2-5-8-3 with my last 2 picks. And then just roll with this running back room. Which I only need 2 of them starting on a weekly basis. But it's not the strongest running back room I've built. Keenan Allen's also here. All right, this is another smooth my exposure out. If he gets signed to a good team, he's going to jump up draft boards. And I don't have a lot of him. And I could regret it. So I'm happy to get him on a big dog team. Katron Allen goes right after. But I have Katron Allen on another team, another big dog team that I've done. So he was the other guy I was thinking of to lock in the backfield, like I said. 2 guys on the Washington backfield. But I have a lot of Katron Allen, so I'm happy to mix in Keenan Allen, both K Allens, funny enough. Could both be good picks. Cyrus Allen goes off the board, Torrey Horton. These are all guys that honestly I like what I see with these guys just based off their talent. I mean, Torrey Horton scored 6 touchdowns last year. And then he got injured. So yeah, my last pick will most likely be one of these Baltimore wide receivers. Lean in to the Lamar Jackson bounce back year. New offense. It's definitely an offense I want to be investing in. They get to play the Bengals twice. They get to play the Browns twice. And the Steelers twice. Raridon goes off. He's another guy that's been getting a lot of hype. The tight end, the rookie tight end with New England. But yeah, I will be taking Jakobi Lane here. He's 6'4". He has great hands. And this is why I like Dejon Stribling so much, is because I watched all the rookie highlights. And Stribling was honestly like my favorite rookie just based off his film. And then I obviously liked the offense. Him going to San Francisco with Brock Purdy. So I was just he's my highest exposure guy. I was drafting a ton of him. And then thankfully, I mean, actually, I kind of wish he was still going back where I got Ted Hurst, because I would have scooped him up there as well. But I don't mind having a bunch of shares of him in the 180s in a lot of my teams. I wasn't doing any big dogs back then, unfortunately, but I continue to take him, though. I have him on a big dog team, I'm pretty sure. I do. I have him on the team where I accidentally took 4 quarterbacks. Which it's like, if you're going to be taking 4 quarterbacks, you need to hit on the middle round guys. So I'm happy I got him. But yeah, that's the end of the draft. This guy's 4 quarterbacks are Cam Ward, Geno Smith, Tua, and Kirk Cousins. And he's also only got 3 running backs, one of which is Zach Charbonnet, who is coming off an ACL injury and should not be playing until most likely like week 8. So love having that guy in my pod. His team drawing dead, most likely. Renegades only takes 1 tight end with Trey McBride. This guy only has 6 wide receivers, one being Mike Evans, who's old and is dealing with a quad injury already. Malik Neighbors coming back from an injury. And then Jalen Naylor and Pat Bryant. So this team, not very good in my opinion. So yeah, I'm glad I got to draft with this room. My team, let's see Chris's wide receivers, because he goes 5 running backs with his first 5 picks. His quarterbacks are fine. His wide receivers are DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, Josh Downs, Shakir, Cooper, Washington, and Cup. Don't love his wide receivers. My team is St. Brown, Hampton, Zay Flowers, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, BTJ, Rico Dowdle, Blake Corum, Rashad White, Kyle Pitts, Dalton Kincaid, Travis Hunter, Denzel Boston, Kamara, AJ Barner, Ted Hurst, Keenan Allen, Jakobi Lane. I really like this team. But yeah, I was drafting. It was last night I drafted a big dog team. And let me show you one of the teams drafted one quarterback, and it was Brissett. So his team, I don't know why it's only showing 2 big dogs, because I know I've done more than 2. This is the team I accidentally drafted 4 quarterbacks. See, I got Katron Allen. Also got Rico Dowdle on this team. And I don't hate this team because I have guys, like I said, I have Stribling, who I'm very high conviction on. I have 3 anchor wide receivers. I was forced to go 2 tight ends because I needed to. When I accidentally go 4 quarterbacks, I'm not taking more than 2 tight ends. So yeah, this team is still good. And my quarterbacks are all good. Why is it only showing 2 big dogs? Let me refresh this. Should be refreshed though. Okay, so I've done 4 big dogs so far. This is the team we just did. So this should be the team from last night. I also have Lamar Jackson on that team as well, with Jakobi Lane. So making a pretty big bet on Jakobi Lane, which I was a little bit late. Most of my exposures with Elijah Surratt. So happy to get Jakobi Lane in 2 big dog teams. But yeah, this team is also good. Also got Rico Dowdle on this team. Mixed it up and got Adam Randall. My wide receivers, I really like making a lot of rookie bets, which is dangerous. But honestly, the rookie class this year is pretty deep. I have 2 anchor wide receivers, good quarterbacks, and good tight ends. But let me show you this. I swore it was this one where oh yeah, here it is. Cutler must have not known he was drafting and didn't set limits on his position. So he has 1 quarterback with his last pick. And they probably forced him to take that pick. So yeah, he's drawing dead. But yeah, anyway, thanks for joining. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll try to do a few more of these big dogs so y'all can see some high stakes drafts. Thanks for joining. The Taxman's out.